joke, I've been a money maker. I've been a record breaker, taking credit as an educator. I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky thing. Popping, locking, stopping, let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip hop, it's like a sting. We make a whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk. We gotta have that funk. We kick it old school, we think we're so cool. We take it back to the past, we gonna act a fool. Enough jumps, the middle finger make my Jaeger jump.
Hello, and welcome to Sports Buzz, the Fanatical View. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis, here in studio once again doing a taped show in the Comcast Cable Channel 23 studios in downtown Danbury, Connecticut on a steamy
is not the word.
Super hot September 1st. Yes, that's right. The calendar has turned once again.
We're getting
that calendar never stops
leaves
turning.
falling already.
I've seen a few leaves turning colors, as a matter of fact, but this little heat wave maybe will help out my tomatoes. I know my cucumbers are long gone. That's disappointing.
This weather needs to change real quick because I can't take this heat.
It's pretty hot out there.
I'll tell you, especially out there in that roadway.
That's right. Bob's out there. Be kind to Bob when you see him waving those children by. Don't speed through the intersection.
Please don't run me over.
And there we see Bob Broad Jr. and Mr. Dave King in studio as they get set to appear once again at SNYRA, Southern New York Racing Association, coming up September 20th. Today is Tuesday, September 1st. As I mentioned, we were taping on a Tuesday, so we're a little bit early in the week. Not all the sporting results are in when the show will be airing in its usual slot, Thursday, 6:30 to 7. Forgive us for that, but we had to come in anyways. You know, we got to do our show. What can we say? You've already heard the voice of Mr. Bob Broad Jr. Let's officially say hello.
Hi, Scott.
How's it going, Bob?
My Mets are doing very well. Even though your Red Sox took two out
of three this weekend. I thought it was going to be 3 easy wins for the Metsies.
That third one was, a squeaker.
Not so. The Red Sox come to town.
But they're banging up the...
And you made you work for that 5-4 victory on Sunday. Almost got the sweep.
Yeah.
I was pulling for it.
But the Red Sox are banging them Yankees today last night.
Held them off. So taking it to them. They're embracing the spoiler role. Of course, Bob's show Spotlight On airs Tuesday night at 9, Wednesdays at 12. Mike Toohey flying solo in the studio. Maybe he's getting a little help from Dave King. Again, though, his show, Expose Cinema, Friday nights at 9, Wednesday at 1. Connor Paco, production assistant extraordinaire, is here. I don't think he's helping, though. I saw him in the office watching some TV. Is he watching Sports Buzz while we tape it?
Quality control.
Dave King, quality control. That's what it is. We need all of that. After last week, there were some technical difficulties. I hear the music in the background now, though. Yeah. We got it right this time. All right, so we can move on. We will get to baseball later in the show this week. We're not going to do baseball off the top. We're going to mix it up. But first, we want to promote SNYRA, Southern New York Racing Association, September 20th. 2015, 11 to 4 o'clock. There's the info right there. Danbury PAL building. Is that a Sunday? You guys usually are on a Sunday, right?
Yep.
Sunday afternoon?
At an average, we get about 30, 40 cars, and usually we have about 40 or 50 drivers.
Yeah, so vintage race cars are on display, open to the public. Maybe we should give a little plug to the Sycamore. They do the car show every Saturday night. Their season's probably winding down.
They got about 2 or 3 weeks left, so they're
head on over to the Sycamore. Good burger, good milkshake, good everything, and classic cars on Saturday night. But SNYRA, of course, is the event to see all the cars, all the old racing cars.
Plus, you get to see Dave King.
Mr. Dave King. And maybe he'll do a duet. His favorite thing to do, a duet with Bob Broad Jr. I'm waiting for them to take that show on the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What's Dave got to say about that?
No comment.
No comment is right. One of these days, I'm going to dig up that footage from the Westerners event where you guys did a long duet series. Somebody needed to get the
hook.
The hook. Where was the hook? No hook for Bob. All right,
I was feeling good that day. that was our 20th anniversary celebration that day.
Of the Westerners, right?
Yeah.
Staying local, Western Militia, we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. They had the big football game this past weekend up in Meriden against the Connecticut Panthers, the top two teams in the New England Football League, and which has been the case in recent years. Same situation. Western Militia beat the Panthers early in the season, fall to them late, and then lose in the playoffs. Well, they fell to them late again, 28-20 in the regular season. Let's hope they turn the script, though, in the postseason. Clearly, these two teams will be duking it out for the championship, most likely, in a few weeks. 3 games left in the regular season of the New England Football League.
Militia's been getting a lot of good press.
They have been getting a lot of good press, rightly so. They've been around a handful of years now, and they're doing really well. Fans are starting to get on board and stay with them and root them on. If you're looking for information, westernmilitia.com is the place to go, and NEFL is the way to search for the New England Football League, or just search it out. You'll find them, and I'm sure they're on Facebook and all that good stuff. Speaking about getting information about local teams, the Danbury Titans.
Yes.
We didn't mention that the other week. They did unveil their logo as they take over as the new hockey team in town, with the Whalers parting ways. So the Whale is gone. The Titans are here. Maybe they're here to stay.
They have a 6-year lease.
6-year lease.
Yes.
FHL professional hockey right there. Good looking jerseys. They stuck with the same color theme of the Whalers. So that was good as well.
They're also going to be Brewster team.
There is going to be a Brewster team, so we will have that rivalry as well, which we thought we were losing for a moment there, but no, there will be a Brewster team.
The Brewster Bulldogs.
Brewster Bulldogs, the cross-border rival, and there we see the coach is back, Phil Esposito.
Mr. Esposito is back.
Returning. Not that Phil Esposito, but this Phil Esposito.
I have met the other Phil Esposito, and he was in Danbury when the Whalers were in this session back probably about 3 or 4 years ago.
Very nice. And we might as well stay local. We're going to stay local for a couple more topics as we cover some things here. College football, Bob.
I know, it starts back. UConn starts
Thursday night.
Yeah.
And they announced a starter, Bryant Sharif. Hopefully the Sharif does like it, and he can rock the Casbah up there in Rensselaer Field for those UConn Huskies. Thursday evening, 7:30 versus Villanova. I'm still trying to get everybody to call it the wrench instead of the rent. The rent? Nobody likes to pay rent. Opponents coming in, they're going to get wrenched at the Rensselaer Field.
Right.
Why don't people call it the wrench? Come on, people, get with it.
Hey.
Bob Diaco, in his second year, announces the redshirt sophomore Bryant Sharif, Jefferson, Georgia, will be the starter. He said it was no surprise. That's who they were looking at all the way. He's looked good in practice. They're ready to go. Villanova, which is number 4 ranked team in FCS, so they're not the CFB squad. They're a lower tier team, but we've seen in recent years with big programs and programs like UConn having trouble with some of these good FCS teams. So I do not think it's a gimme, automatic, that UConn's going to get out of the gate with a victory. They're going to have to work hard to get that done on Thursday night, 7:30. SNY is where you can go to find that game. Every year it seems to be a search.
Yeah.
Every year, week to week, it's no rhyme or reason what network is covering them, but that's where they are for week 1. Villanova is led by their quarterback, who was the Walter Payton Award winner last year, a senior, so they have the top player in FCS. So it's going to be a tough game. So I'm sure the fans will be out. They've been dying for a UConn football program to get back into their winning ways, which they have not done in about 3 or 4 years now.
Well, let's put it this way: college football is much more better to watch than, at least you can, you have more stuff to watch.
Yeah, if they can get it going, it'll be good. I looked at the overall schedule for the weekend. There's only one game that pits 2 top-ranked teams, or top 25 ranked teams: Wisconsin versus Bama. Bama starts the season ranked 3rd, Wisconsin 20th. It's the only matchup.
Who's the top?
Ohio
teams?
State, defending champion, unanimous, which doesn't happen very often. Preseason unanimous number 1.
Wow.
They got a lot of players back from the defending championship season. TCU number 2, Bama, Baylor, Oregon round out the top 5. It'll all change as the season goes on. I, of course, will be very excited to watch Colorado State take on the CU Trust Fund Colorado University Buffaloes.
How's your Colorado State look this year?
Well, they lost their coach, so
Did
it's
they?
going to be another turnover. The coach got them into the bowls the last 2 years. Really played excellent football under him, but he left for Florida. So it's going to be interesting to see. A lot of question marks coming back after 2 pretty good seasons, 1 really good season last year.
You have a lot of returning players?
You know, I haven't done that much research yet, Bob.
Okay.
I got caught off guard by the football season starting so soon. NFL is a week away, but we'll get into that in a moment. All right, other stuff that took place in-state Connecticut Open finished up this past weekend. Petra Kvitova, repeat champion. She won it back-to-back. It was checkmate, as it was all Czechoslovakian final. Lucia Safarova was her opponent in the final. She beat her 6-7, losing that first set tiebreak at 6, and then 6-2, 6-2. She won second and third set, so she pulled away easily as it went in that final on Sunday. She's into the U.S. Open now, which began yesterday, Monday. We remember we were taping the show on a Tuesday, airing on a Thursday.
Right.
The big news early was that Maria Sharapova withdrew on Sunday after her final practice round. She could not get over the leg injury, so that's a big blow to the tournament. She's one of the top females. Other big news, Coco Vandeweghe, first round defeat of Sloane Stephens. Remember, about 2 years ago, Sloane Stephens was one of the young up-and-coming Americans. She has fallen by the wayside, can't even get out of the first round this year, and she has not done well since that 2014 where she was playing very well. So that's disappointing, but Coco is an American. She took out an American in round 1. Rafael Nadal, of course, trying to come back. He's had an up-and-down season. He's trying to regain his form. He got by in 4 sets to open. He was dehydrated, he said. Very hot temperatures here this first week in New York. Temperatures up in the 90s out on court. So it's going to be tough this first week for the players to get through. Venus Williams won in 3 sets. Serena got through easily. Her opponent withdrew in the second set, so nothing big for Serena. That, of course, is the story to watch. Will Serena win the Grand Slam, become the first woman to win the Grand Slam since 1988, Bob?
Yeah.
Steffi Graf, of course, the last one to do it. Whether or not the competition is as good as it should be or as good as it could have been or was in previous years, it's still going to be a great accomplishment if she gets it done. I didn't realize Serena actually has won the last 3. She's going for 4 straight U.S. Open championships. 2011 was the last
quite
loss.
a feat,
Yeah, so very good for her. Another American who did well, Madison Keys, straight set winner. We've been following her a little bit lately. Marine Cilic. Raise your hand if you realized he was the defending champion on the men's side from last year. What happened last year that Cilic was the champ? I did not remember that at all.
I don't remember either.
Djokovic, Roger Federer, they're the guys to watch. We'll see what they can do. I'm pulling for Federer. I still think he's got at least one more major final championship in him. We will see if he can pull that off. He's looked good on the hard court so far. We pointed it out last week that he beat Djokovic in a final 2 weeks ago. So maybe, just maybe, Roger can get that going if he can get through. He has looked pretty good. Some other interesting stuff before we get to baseball. We'll get to that. Horse racing back on the map this past weekend, Bob. American Pharoah has been one of the horses. Obviously, he did win the Triple Crown this year, so that was great that happened for horse racing. And what was even better is that they announced he would continue to run. A lot of Kentucky Derby winners. We know there hasn't been a Triple Crown winner in 37 years, but even still, a lot of the big winners in these Triple Crown events don't race afterwards. They put those horses out to stag. But they have announced he will race, and he has. He won in Jersey a couple weeks ago, went up to Saratoga this weekend to run at the Graveyard of Champions. And once again, it was the Graveyard of Champions as he went down. Keen Ice came from nowhere on the back stretch, final home stretch it was, 16-1 odds-on favorite. So he was a little bit of an underdog, and he pulled away and beat American Pharoah down the stretch. But really, It was Frosted who did the damage, Bob. I watched this race. It was a good race.
Right.
And Frosted came out early, was bumping around the third turn there with American Pharoah, making him work, making him put out the effort early, which led to him not having the finishing kick he needed late when Keen Ice came after he had put away Frosted, but Keen Ice. So maybe it was a Frosted teaming up with Keen Ice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good drink.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I would like one of those.
Yeah.
What do you think? We can work on that.
That sounds
maybe for next year's, Kentucky Derby. We'll get that going. So Whirlaway remains the only Triple Crown winner, one of 12 Triple Crown winners who ran up in Saratoga to win there. Everybody else has failed. It is the Graveyard of Champions. He did not get it done. We talked
about golf.
We'll get to golf in a second. First, wanted to do track and field first. We talked about lightning striking last week and burning everything just like toast. Usain Bolt, he did it again. 200-meter final. He goes ahead and gets that. And then to add insult to injury to the Americans, the Jamaicans, 4x100-meter relay. Wow. They just burnt them, fried them like toast. How about this, Bob? Fourth time in in the last 6 World Championships that the USA team was either disqualified or failed to finish in the 4x100 relay.
Wow.
I mean, the men's USA team used to own the relay events.
Not anymore.
Now the pressure continues to mount. They have bad handoffs. They had the lead around the third turn with Bolt getting the handoff for the Jamaicans, Gatlin knowing he was coming, sloppy handoff, and he couldn't get it done. Disqualified, Bolt runs away with it, lightning strike once again. That's 3 golds for Bolt in this World Championships, totaling 11 IAAF World Championship golds overall for him in his career. 2016 can't get here soon enough for the Jamaicans and Usain Bolt and the Olympics in Rio. He'll be ready, and they're going to be ready, and the USA is going to have a lot of questions over the next year because they were running good, but when it came down to a World Championship style in Beijing, China, at the Bird's Nest, they failed. They failed miserably. Jamaicans, the reggae boys, getting it done. Turn up the music, Mike. Let Fatty Roots play.
Yeah, let's have some Fatty Roots.
Let's get a little reggae for the reggae boys. Yeah. All right. Golf? Yes, you want some golf?
Yeah, what we got? There we go.
It is. I'm into this, Bob. I told you, the young players doing well, they've kind of piqued my interest. And at the Barclays this weekend, in the start of the FedEx Cup Championship, the PGA champion from just 2 weeks ago, Jason Day, did it again. Cool. Shoots a 62 in the final round, 6-shot victory. So he put on a great performance to win it, to get the FedEx Cup Championship started. Justin Spieth, not so much. He missed the cut 1 week at number 1 in the world, and then he is out at number 1. McIlroy moves back to that number 1 spot. But they'll continue on this weekend at the Deutsche Bank Championship, TPC, in Boston.
And nothing about Tiger.
Tiger did not make the playoff, which is why no one should have been writing about him to begin with.
But they still...
He misses cuts, and he doesn't even qualify.
Right.
130 top players make that. They're now down to 100 after this weekend, yet they write about him all the time. We do not have to hear about him again going forward.
Mike?
All right, before we get to baseball, let's just do a little football. The Snoopy Bowl this weekend up there at MetLife Stadium. Jets, Giants. The G-men couldn't get it done, Bob. Looked pretty ugly as well.
Yeah, I know. It was not a very good...
28-18 loss. The key play, pick 6. Cromartie gets to Eli with 6 seconds to go in the first half. Out around midfield. What's he doing? Throwing one out in the flat for a pick 6, touchdown, and they lose 28-18. Jets, Jets.
And the Giants actually play the Jets this year for a first
December 6th. Big game that'll be, which means also the Patriots are going to play the Giants as well. Since
so
they
maybe
play
we'll have
those.
a little revenge.
We'll see. We will see. Patriots, second week in a row, Jimmy Garoppolo with the comeback victory, this time against the Panthers, 2 weeks ago against the Saints. Of course, the big NFL news everybody is waiting for. All right, Bob, what a shock Deflategate.
The day before the season will start,
I told you this whole thing was a made-up situation and that it's all about the NFL keeping themselves in the news. A story that is not a real story, drags on for the entire offseason. We're 1 week away from the regular season, and the judge announces after yesterday, Monday's meeting in court, where Brady showed up, Goodell showed up, he announces that he will make his final ruling this week.
Now,
and there we go. The big story, really.
Yeah, you had
coming
some
out of
interesting cartoons.
Yeah, here it is. For you artists out there, what do you think? The courtroom sketch artist came under fire 2 weeks ago for this drawing, which was the first one she did, and social media went all haywire over that zombie-like portrait of Tom Brady in the court case. If we can go back to that first one once again, Mike, there it is. Not the typical drawing you would see of Tom Brady. Usually he's the golden boy, dapper guy that he is. People were a little taken back by this portrait, but it is a courtroom drama. I kind of like the throwback to the olden days with the suits there everybody's wearing. It's a serious setting.
But it looks like something out of Dragnet. I mean,
Yeah, well, Brady had the cropped haircut.
Yeah.
She captured that a little well. Somber face. He's thinking, why am I in court right now? I should be at practice getting ready for a preseason game. Roger Goodell is an idiot, a jerk. I hate his guts. I think she captured it quite well. This was, if we go to the second one,
yeah.
This is from yesterday. After all the criticism she received, she tidied things up a little bit, not quite the zombie-like portrait she did.
I wouldn't want to have her to do a sketch for a crime.
Maybe we should get the picture of me that we run in the credits.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Our man Mikey Summers.
Have Mike Summers do some. I would guarantee it'd be much better than this.
I mean, there we go.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're doing a portrait, who knows?
Yeah.
It's all about interpretation,
Right.
Bob. The artist's interpretation. You got to let them be free with
I know,
what they want.
but come on, make it look at least, look like the guy that you're talking about.
I don't complain about what Mikey Fresh did with me, turning me into the devil-like puppet master that I am. I'm down. I'm up with it. Whatever. Let him go. So anyways, I think it was more criticism. I hadn't seen that much criticism of a public figure since the royal portrait scandals. Every time somebody does a portrait of the royals, Kate Middleton, remember everybody went nuts over Prince William a couple years ago. Social media, critics everywhere. I'd like to see them put their effort up there. Probably can't do it. All right, let's get to baseball because we don't have much time, and we do have to gloat, I do at least, about the Red Sox embracing the spoiler role going into Citi Field this weekend, and
yes,
there it is.
Did.
Big Papi going big yard, hit 2 big bombs this weekend.
Hey, Big Papi's going for number 500.
495 is his total now. He got 495 last night at home against the Yankees, but after this weekend, they did take 2 out of 3, 5-4 loss on Sunday. They didn't quite get the sweep, but the Mets are watching some pitch counts there. We see Harvey, who pitched well 6 innings, shutout ball as soon as he came out. Middle relief, a little bit of the problem for the Mets right now. Red Sox got to him with a home run by Papi. And then also Mookie Betts with the 2-run job to get, or actually I think it might have been Jackie Bradley Jr. got that. But, the Red Sox, we've been, calling them Team Joe Schmo, a bunch of Joe Schmoes on Team blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But we got to change that. It's the bees now, as they're not blah, 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 they're the little killer bees. Bradley, Bogarts, Betts, Brock, Blake, all the youngsters. Did you see the lineup at times? I mean, they had nobody in the lineup that had more than a year or 2 of experience. I loved it. Well, Castillo in the mix, Travis Shaw as well, and they're coming up with victories. They're, doing pretty well. 11-6 in their last 17, mostly led by the young guns.
Right.
Big Papi's in and out of the lineup. He's there.
Right.
Pedroia's been out. Pablo Sandoval is the only other guy playing. Hanley Ramirez, I don't know what's up with him. He's not playing at all. And they're much better because defensively they're outstanding. Last night, Jackie Bradley Jr., key play.
Oh, yeah. It was...
Line drive deep, throws out the Yankee runner at the plate. Have they not been paying attention, Bob?
They have not.
Jackie Bradley Jr.'s got a canyon. Do not run on him. Big mistake that was in a crucial play in that 4-3 victory as they will try to continue to play spoiler. But your Mets actually gained ground over
yes.
the hapless Nationals, who are now sitting at 66 and 64.
Yeah.
You got the win Sunday, and then you got a win against Philly last night. So
Well, you know
sit
the
at-
last night's game was? It took like 15 minutes for them to get one play. They had to go. They overturned the call.
Which in the Mets game?
Mets game.
Yeah. Well, replay can drag
Yeah,
things out.
and that is, I think, was a mistake.
And the
putting that-
walks. I mean,
Oh.
10 walks Saturday night with the Mets versus the Yankees, or versus the Red Sox.
Right.
Last night, Red Sox pitchers walking guys all over the place. Of course, last night's game took forever, about 4 hours. That's nothing new with Red Sox Yankees. But in the National League, you like to see the games go a little bit quicker. How
Right.
about the inside the park home run in extra innings
Oh, that was a.
by the Red Sox
That's-
in that extra inning game on Friday to start that season? That was actually a real home run that the umps
Yeah.
blew, but they called it off the wall. What is with the black over the railing in
I don't
Citi
understand.
Field by
I don't-
making
I
it
don't know.
confusing?
That-
Why
I mean,
isn't the
it's-
ball going into the bullpen or into the bleachers? Come on, Bob. It's your stadium.
I know it's my stadium.
There was 2 home runs in that series that were hit the black over the line with the yellow line. Those balls should be out of the ballpark. That's
Right.
what a home run is. They shouldn't be coming back in. But anyways, your Mets still looking good, 73 and 58, 6.5 games up on the Nats. They've actually moved to within 1.5 of the wild card as a fallback plan, if needed, of the Cubs, who are 5-5 in their last 10.
Oh, the Cubs game the other night was Sunday night was excellent.
How about that? The Dodgers getting no hit for the second time in 10 days.
Oh,
Jake Arrieta shut him down on Sunday night, and it happened about a week or so earlier. So, but the Dodgers did get a big win against the Giants last night. Dodgers now 4.5 up on the Giants, and the Giants are 5.5 out in the wild card. So the Giants are looking like they are in jeopardy of not defending their title. The Cardinals, we know, cruising at 85 and 46, up 5 on the Pirates. And the Pirates are up 5.5 on the second wild card, so the Pirates are in good shape to get the wild card. In the American League, the Yankees, still with that loss last night, still looking good. 1.5 behind Toronto, but looking good. 4 up on Texas for the wild card. 9 up on the Twins for the second wild card. So we know the Yankees are going to make the playoffs one way or the other. But will Toronto hold them off down the stretch? We know they got 7 games head to head.
Real
But
quick.
watch out for my Red Sox.
Real
No
quick,
more
I
blah,
watched-
blah, blah.
You know, I watched on Sunday.
They're off the hook.
I watched Japan and Pennsylvania for the
Little League World Series.
Japan
Japan.
won 18-13.
Big display of offense coming
Yeah.
from Japan in that Little League World Series. All right, we will be back next week doing one more tape show before we go live, I think, after that. We'll be looking forward to getting back live on Thursday nights. Maybe Strange Man will join us then.
Yeah, I won't
And
be.
our man
probably-
Mike McFadden's off on vacation,
Yeah.
much needed, so I hope he has a good time. We'll catch him maybe next week back with us, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Back with us again.